Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to this week's Productive Agent Podcast. My name is Tony Ruiz. I'm the founder and host of the Productive Agent Podcast and Facebook group. And today we're going to make it official 2 weeks in a row. Please welcome the official co-host of the Productive Agent, Mr. Shane Tokheim.
Yeah, dude. I was literally at the office and I was going to make a sign to hang on the bottom here to put my name up there too. But
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We'll add that in time.
Yeah.
You know, step one is to make it official. All right. So how's everything going?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. We just saw each other. So we had a Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, short week.
Yeah, and then a short week, and we came back on Tuesday, and then we had some people missing from the group, but it was still good attendance and good stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that. And here we are. We're going to talk a little bit about some distractions, some things that either I'm facing or other agents around are facing. Obviously, with Memorial Day, we have the start of spring break. Excuse me, not spring break, summer break. So kids are out. All right, we have a lot of distractions. I know my family, my brother came into town from Louisiana, had a great time. We golfed. We had the kids hang out. We bowled yesterday. All of that was a lot of fun, but sometimes it could pull away and distract you from taking care of your business. So I just wanted to kind of pick your brain. Let's talk a little bit about that. How do we avoid getting into a slump or, avoiding those distractions?
Yeah, well, I'm a robot, so I don't have that problem. No, the thing is, we got to live our lives too, right? So I don't know why you go downward spiral when you're just living your life. Your family's important. Obviously, it's the number one thing.
Sure.
So just have that scheduled and don't look at it like, oh man, I didn't get stuff done because my family or my kid or my this or that. That's okay. Put it on your calendar and enjoy it. And that book called The One Thing, do your one thing and don't feel guilty about it. And then when you're done, you won't have the rest of the week to feel bad. You shouldn't feel bad at all. I think that maybe is why I don't slump, because I never feel guilty. I never feel bad because I know, okay, I'm still high producing. My results are great. And I'm entitled to play a round of golf, or I'm entitled to spend time with my daughter, or I'm going to pick up my daughter right after this. And so those things are a must in life. And so you got to have them, put it on your calendar, don't feel bad about it, and don't let it emotionally drain you. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. I wouldn't say obviously emotionally, I had a great time, right? It was lots and lots of fun, but I didn't make as many phone calls as I was supposed to that day. And that kind of affects me mentally sometimes. Sure. And, I was just thinking about it as I was listening to you talk. It's like, if you're used to taking 10 or 15 calls a day or whatever, why not just make it like 5 for that day, or squeeze in, could you wake up a little bit earlier and knock out some work? Could you plan around that time and make sure that there's something getting done rather than nothing getting done?
Or like Ed Mylett, now I'm reading that book, so that's all I talk about. He says he has 3 days in his one day. So he has 3 times the days of anybody else. And so, okay, your brother's in town for 4 days. So now you got 3 days to get your weekend. So just do that. So in the morning now, make 10 calls, on the day you're done with your brother. And then in the afternoon, make 10 more, just do double. And nobody's going to convince me ever that they don't have time to make 10 phone calls or 10 texts or 20 or, any of that. And you'll call me out. I have that time too. I'm not doing it. My business is good. Could it be better? Of course, I could do it too, but you have the time. But the most important thing, I think, talking about getting over a slump or, being distracted, is schedule that distraction and then do more when you have time.
Yeah, I can't remember who I was listening to, but they're like, I really like to do X or whatever it was. And they I just put it on the calendar and work everything around that. And so that's very important. So also, being affected by like everybody's on summer break. I still have a lot of teacher friends. And I even texted a friend of mine yesterday. And I said, this is like the one part where I kind of miss teaching, to where you get up for summer break and you don't really have anything to do, right? You have no responsibilities. And he was talking about how he likes the structure of, working consistently every single day, which I do too, but there's no boss that's standing over my shoulder that's making me do stuff. I'm going, I don't know, everybody's at the pool or everybody's at the river. And so avoiding those distractions planning it out and then putting the work around that, I think is super important.
For sure.
Of course, I have a vacation coming up on 3 weeks, and I'm super excited about that. We always go down to the beach with family and hang out for a few days. But man, how do you, I know every time before when I take a vacation, it's so hard to get out of vacation mode. You don't really vacation much.
I don't much.
Yeah. But you've gone to Vegas a few times here and there. But
I don't know. Maybe I just enjoy my job more than everybody. I don't know what it is.
I enjoy my job too.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't need to bounce back. Like I can't wait to get back to work. So it doesn't. I don't understand like when people say that. I don't get that. But like Monday was a holiday, and so normally I contact a few hundred people every Monday, but I didn't do it. And so. I think a lot of people would just look at it like, oh shit, I failed. But no, I'm like, I know I'll just do it Tuesday. Like what I just said, like just move it. Who cares? And funnily,
it's alive.
I had more responses on Tuesday than I normally do on a normal Monday. So I don't know, catch people off. I don't know. And sometimes you should try that. Just move your contacts to a different time. But I had a lot of responses, and a lot of them were like, "Oh, I didn't take yesterday off." So that's good that they let me know that. But a lot of people are like, "Yeah, thank you for that," and yeah, it was good. So, just force yourself to bounce back. I think it's like anything. If you just start doing something, momentum will take over. Instead of start to feel guilty or sad or mad or any of that, just start activity. Activity will cure so many problems for everybody. If you take massive action, you'll have good results.
Yeah. And that's something that's been tough in the past for me, and I still struggle every now and then. But it's funny, as soon as you do one thing, it leads to like 5 to 10 more. Sure. And it's like so easy. The toughest part is just getting started, and like sometimes you have to relocate. Like today I went to Starbucks again, and it was like, okay, boom. As soon as I sat down, pulled up my computer, pulled up my calendar, and pulled up my tabs that I usually have open, it's like, oh, I got to do this, got to do that, check my email, got to do that. And one thing led to another, and it was a pretty productive morning. Yeah. All right. So it's just going back to that routine is super important. Another one that I want to bring up, because I know a couple of agents have talked about this, that we know, kids at home. All right. So now we're on summer break. I saw a post that was posted up on on the side of school. It said, "Tag you're it, parents." So now you have the kids. And so how do you're about to go pick up your daughter, and you're going to spend quality time with her, and that's very important. But there's also still time that you got to squeeze in to maybe make your calls, make your text. What do you recommend?
Yeah, that's so hard. I hope it's quality time. I mean, she's a handful. But yeah, so her mom has to go do her job, right? So we have to split that up. I don't know. That's a great question. Like, there's a couple of single mothers in our group, and we did talk about it a lot in the group. You've really, the busier you are, the more structured you need to be. So, maybe you're going to have to get up an hour earlier and just, start texting people early, or, schedule it into your day. Like, okay, at, nap time, I'm going to text 30 people or something like that. I mean, the busier you are, the more structured you got to be. You have to have a plan. Or, what were you telling Leanne? Like, she has a friend going to watch, and so she's got some freedom, and, get a mom's group, or say, I shouldn't say moms and dads, or whatever. So maybe you go one day, you take 4 kids with you somewhere, and then the next day they take all 4 kids, whatever. You got to strategize. You got to get a plan. You got to get some time to get some work done. So
yeah, for sure. I was thinking about, like, again, what you mentioned, waking up a little bit earlier, taking care of some tasks, and I even talked to an agent of mine, and we were talking about, hey, you could probably still, from time to time be on your phone, talking to people, Facebook, text, whatever it is. And it doesn't necessarily distract from spending time with your child. Maybe y'all are watching a show, maybe you're watching a movie, whatever it is, that you could still do some little work on the side.
Or, like Christina, her son, freaking cute as can be, I see her post stuff like Alan and I are doing this, and she sends it out, I'm sure, to her group, which is great. I mean, who doesn't want to see that? You could do that. Incorporate them into your advertising.
Sure.
To some extent. I like that.
Yeah. No, that's cool. So when we do find ourselves getting stuck, and I think you have a story that you want to share. And so an agent's like, man, I just can't get it going, whatever it is. What is it that you recommend to those people that are like, I just struggling?
We'll call him Jimmy because I don't want to use his real name.
Sure. Jimmy works.
He just called me right now and he was telling me a lot of stories that are not good ones. And I'm like, dude, I mean, everything you just told me is negative. He goes, yeah, because I'm not having any success. I'm like, well, what are you doing? And he told me a few things he's doing with a very few people. And so I said, dude, if I were you, and he's been a realtor for 18 years or maybe more, I don't know. I said, you should literally text every single one of your past clients and say, hey, I just came across this great listing and let me know if you or any of your friends or family are interested in it. I'd love to help anybody. And it's a great day to be in real estate in San Antonio. And just send it to 300 people or how many ever you can. And I can guarantee you that you're going to get some reaction about it or about something, something real estate, something work related good will happen from that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he hung up saying, I'm going to do it. And we'll see. He'll probably text me here in a little bit and see how he's doing.
No, I like that. You always come up with little things like that. I'm like, oh, that's really good. That's a good, like little carrot to dangle to get somebody like, oh, well, and then all of a sudden they respond.
I was talking to John Totten too earlier today, and he's the manager of a big brokerage. And he was asking me something kind of similar, like, what would you recommend to somebody struggling or that's brand new into town and trying to build their database, or they don't know what to do? And those are good questions. And so me and him rattled off like 12 things, and all good. Like, do a lot of open houses. Do an open house every single day that's vacant. Do a vacant one where you could just sit and work, or it doesn't have to be vacant, I guess. But but why not? What else are you going to do? You could just sit at your office, or you could sit at a vacant open house and do your work and text people and call people. And what if somebody comes in to buy the house? I mean, so, and anyway, we talked about, what you do, go to Starbucks every day and meet people, try to meet people, buy somebody coffee. Anyway, so we rattle off these 12 ideas or whatever, 10, 12 ideas.
Right.
And then I looked at him, I go, what just happened is we rattle off so many ideas. And if we're sitting there talking to a new agent, they're going to be overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. When all of those are good ideas, at the end of a conversation like that, and like you right now listening, hopefully, you should just say like, okay, which one of these do I really want to do?
Yep.
Do I like to go for coffee every day? Yes. Okay, so go for coffee every day at the same place. Sit down, put your sign up on the back of your laptop that says I'm a realtor, and literally pick somebody out and buy them a cup of coffee. If you buy somebody a cup of coffee every day for, let's say, 10 days or 20 days or whatever you pick the days, something's going to happen. All 20 of those people might get into your database. One of them might need to buy or sell a house. Something is going to happen, right? I mean, I can't guarantee that, but I can guarantee if I was there with you, it probably is going to happen, because I'm going to talk so much that I'm going to talk somebody into doing something. Yeah. So look, if you're listening and you want to do that, I'll even come and I'll buy coffee for 10 people. I promise you I'll do that, won't I?
Yeah.
So if you want to do that with me, come contact me. I'll do it with you.
For sure. No, I like that. I jotted down a few things that kind of get me out of a little rut that I might be feeling. I'm like, I don't really want to do this morning, whatever. But sometimes just reading a good book.
Oh, yeah.
And I was sometimes I'm like, okay, well, I was doing 75 hard challenge at the beginning of the year. And there was times where and I was just listening to Andrew Frisella. He's like, dude, a lot of times I wake up and don't feel motivated or inspired or like, I want to go crush it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's days obviously you do, but he goes back to his routine, and the routine of the 75 hard was you have to read, all right, 10 pages a day, all this stuff. And I found that it's like, okay, I'm not feeling right now. Let me just pick up my book because I have to knock this out. All right. And I read, and there was anything that I read just that kind of inspired me to like, oh yeah, man, that's a good message. I want to go do something now and text somebody or send a picture of that to somebody that I know. So those are really good. Just getting back to a routine. Like I said, today I went to Starbucks, opened up my computer, set everything up, and then one thing led to the next. I had good conversations and got some work done. So just getting back into whatever your routine is. And if you don't have a routine, that's super important. But making easy calls, right? So be honest, this morning I wasn't really feeling it, and we talked and 5 minutes, like, oh, I did this. How was your workout? Oh, cool. Yeah. Great workout. Okay, cool. What are you doing now? And then all of a sudden it's like just that quick 5-minute phone call. Like, all right, here we go. Yeah. Gets the juices flowing, gets you thinking. So if you don't have anybody to call Shane. But no, like you should have.
Yeah.
And if you don't, man, you got to find somebody in the business or somebody that's going to support your business.
For sure. It's so easy to go down that emotional, like, I'm alone and I don't know what to do. It's so easy. I can't imagine if you're officing at home and you're just sitting there. Yeah. I mean, get somebody, get an accountability partner, get into my group. And like yesterday, we talked about this in the group, because people find it hard to believe that I'm in a good mood all the time. And so I said, you'd be shocked at what I listen to get me in a good mood, right? Yeah. So get your favorite song and play it. Yeah. So I sent out one of my favorite YouTube mixes to everybody this morning in the group, and obviously you got it, and like almost everybody replied back and said, oh yeah, this is cool, and it is cool, get you in a good mood. And so when you're in a good mood, you're likely to do more activity.
Yeah, for sure. Whatever is going to get you in a good mood, whatever that is, and then once you're in a good mood, take action.
Yeah.
All right. And so that's pretty much the list I got. Anything else that you want to throw in there?
I mean, I think let's send this out to a bunch of people and see if we can get some people going.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I enjoyed it. Thanks for taking the time. The official co-host of Productive Agent. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you got something out of it. If you did, share the show with a friend, help each other out. Drop us a review, give us a rating. That really helps us grow the show and impact others like you. Join our private Facebook group called The Productive Agent, and you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We thank you for joining us today. Now let's get out there and go produce.